Hi, second grade. This is Shirley again. We're working on grade 2 skills. Today's unit 3, lesson 21. We're getting close to the end of the unit. Our learning goals for today: reading 1 and 2 syllable words with the sound spellings for A, A-U, A-U-G-H, and A-W. And then we're also going to read The Big Storm and fill out a story map about that story. Okay, so here's a review of our tree for A. We have AW words, saw and lawn, AU words of hall and because, an AUGH word of daughter and taught. Okay, activity page 21.1. Have students write yes or no to answer the questions. So you're going to read the questions. Each question has a word or words with the A sound spelling. And you're going to answer the question either yes or no. So let's do the first two together. Number 1, read with me. Can you applaud after a play? Applaud means to clap. Okay, so after you watch a play and they're finished, can you applaud? Yes or no? Yeah, yes, you can applaud and tell them that they did a great job. Number 2, does an author draw the different parts of a book? So when a book is made, like a picture book, there's someone who draws the pictures and someone who writes the word. Is the author the one that draws the pictures? No, that would be the illustrator. Okay, so you continue the same way with the rest of the questions through 15, answering them yes or no. Okay, and then for our writing portion today, looking at this, and we've seen this organizer before, for the steps of planning, drafting, and editing a writing piece. This time we're going to work on what's called a personal narrative. Personal narrative is a story that you're writing that happened to yourself. So first let's review fiction versus nonfiction. Fiction is a story is pretend, so Curious George, superheroes, mermaids, something, it's just made up, it's pretend, just for fun. Nonfiction gives information or is based on fact, something that really happened. So if I told you about my day, that would be a fact, this is what happened. If I made up a story, that would be fiction. Is a personal narrative fact or fiction? What do you think? Yeah, personal narrative is fact. It's something that really happened. However, it might have some features that sound like fiction, but it is in fact fact, nonfiction. Okay, so first what we're going to do is read this story together, 21.2. This is an example of a personal narrative. When we are done, we will look at a few parts of the story. Okay, so this is called The Big Storm. Last winter, we got stuck in a big ice storm. The sleet started to come down at noon. When Mom and Dad picked me up at 3, sleet was on the ground and on the roads. We started to drive home. That was when things got exciting. The sleet started coming down harder and harder. It got deeper and deeper. The cars started slipping and sliding. I was scared. Dad had to creep along, and so did lots of other cars. Then the car stopped, and there was a big traffic jam. Mom got out and looked down the road to see if cars were moving at all. No one was moving. We had just passed the road to my granddad's house. Mom called my granddad and asked if we could come and visit. He said we could. So Dad drove to my granddad's house. It took us a long time to get there. There was so much ice that we couldn't see the road. We ended up sleeping at my granddad's house and waiting until the state trucks came and plowed the road. We had fun being iced in. Okay, so although this is personal narrative, and we did say that it was a fact or nonfiction type of writing, it's going to have features of fiction. For example, title. There's a title to the story, The Big Storm. There's a setting. In the story, they were in the car, driving home. They ended up going to granddad's house. Characters, we have Mom and Dad. We also have the kid, the person who's telling the story. They're called the narrator in the story. The person saying I, they're talking about something happened to themselves. And then the plot, right? So what happened, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Those are all features that are found in this personal narrative. Okay, so this is our 5W chart. Shaped like a W, and each point has something on it. So first we have who. That's the characters. Who was in the story? What happened? When did it happen? Where was it? Or when did it happen? The where is where was it? And the why asks us why did the character do what he or she did? Okay, so today we're going to work on this story map. We've seen something like this before. So it has the title, the characters, the setting, and then the beginning, middle, and end parts of the plot. So let's think about the story we just read together. Who are the characters? Yeah, we have mom and dad, and then we have the kid who is the narrator. Next is the setting. Yeah, it's on the road home. They're on the road home, and then they also ended up at the granddad's house. Good. Now the plot. So let's think about what happened in the beginning of the story. Right? So in the beginning of the story, it had started sleeting, and mom and dad came to pick the person up, the narrator up. Right? It started sleeting at noon, and by 3, the sleet was on the roads and on the ground. Right? So that's when the parents came to pick him up. In the middle of the story, what happened next? Sleet came down harder and harder. The cars were slipping and sliding. Everyone had to creep along. I put that in quotes because those are exact words from the story. And then there was a traffic jam. Might even add that mom got out of the car and saw that nobody was moving. Right? And then at the end, so what did they decide to do at the end of the story? Yeah, they said, hey, let's go to Granddad's house. They stayed at the Granddad's house overnight because they had just passed this road. And the state clouds cleared the roads overnight, so they were able to leave the next day. Okay? If you need more time to fill this out, simply pause the video here. Okay, so what you're going to do next is you're going to read 21.3. Okay, it's called Cupcakes with Mom. You're going to read this personal narrative. And once you're done, you're going to fill out your own chart. Okay, so 21.3 is in your activity book. If you don't have it and you need to view it, just simply pause the video now to see the story. And then when you're done, you're going to fill out 21.4. Okay. Same thing we just did. The title, character, setting, beginning, middle, and end of the plot. Okay. Now when that's all over, activity page 21.6. Fill in the blank. So write a word from the box in the sentence. There are 10 words to choose from, and they'll fit in one word in each sentence. We have globe, coach, goal, chose, cone, grade, train, name, may, and mail. I'm sure you noticed we have different sound spellings for the O sound and the A sound. Okay? So read the questions for number 1, for example. My sister's blank is Jane. My sister's what? Looking at this. Oh, name is what would fit there. So you would write name on the line. And then go ahead and cross it off so that you know you already used it. Okay, so finish 21.6. And if you don't have these sheets, you will simply fill out the Google form for Unit 3, Lesson 21. Okay, make sure you finish your reading and writing for that story map as well. Okay, great work today. See you guys tomorrow.